Dracula!
What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Rat2501 here. Alright, with the other half of Double Feature Friday, the Warhammer portion. Alright, this is Could Doomslayer Survive in Warhammer 40k? This is by Commissar Gameza, and I believe I've done another one, because this is more recent. He just did this on the 12th of this year. So, he's doing this based on Doom Eternal data, because before it was just based on the Slayer from Doom 2016, and he didn't have any of the extra lore that we have now. Alright, so let's see what he's got for us, and go. Oh! Yeah!
You'll never defeat the human spirit! You'll never defeat God! You'll never win!
I love that.
Why, hello there everybody, welcome to this video. So today we're going to be asking the question once again, could the Doomslayer survive in the Warhammer 40k universe? Now you're probably saying
yeah, I'm pretty sure he would
things
curb
right
stop
now,
it.
and that is,
Gamza, did you already make this video?
or the other one is going to be, it's about damn time, Gamza.
Oh, God.
So why
And
am I
some people
making
are
this
saying,
again if
"No,
you have that question?
you can't
It's
survive
because
the
when I
Warhammer
first
40k
made the
universe.
original Could
Nothing
Doomslayer
survives the
survive in
Warhammer 40k universe.
That was
Not
back
even
in
my
the
virginity.
2016 version of the game. Now we have Doom Eternal, which has expanded on
hell
that
yeah.
lore a lot more. And I gotta say, like most video games, they just don't lay down the lore concisely. It's always like these vague puzzles that you have to piece
Kinda
together
yes,
to try to
kinda
understand
no,
where is
because
this lore
you
actually
gotta find
going.
all the codexes
So I
and
did
read
get
them.
some
That's a
things
lot of
wrong
reading,
in the
and nobody
last
wants to
video.
do that.
However,
so.
I did get a lot of things correct. One thing I am definitely happy to say is that even though I had so little lore to work with, I power scaled Doomslayer fairly accurate. However, some more things have been revealed, and we will jump into those now.
Oh yeah, this was awesome!
Mm. It is you in their world.
Oh yeah. I hate to kick my own ass, but it's gotta
Alright,
be
so
done.
there have been many theories surrounding this little tiny scene right here that was revealed. Now, I'm going to throw my idea from what I've seen in here, and I guess we'll see how this unfolds in the future. Now, this appears to be Doomslayer is on equal footing with the Dark Lord.
Well, that's
They're
true.
basically the same person, yet not quite. It is described as not a king, but a warrior of hell who ruled through brute force, as that is the only way that you could control these demons. So this sounds like two Doomslayers from
sort
two
of.
different
Actually, the
universes.
Doomslayer is a clone
One came
of
to hell and
of the
ruled
Lord of
through
Hell,
brute force.
so
The other came to punish hell
punish
through brute force. So it's the
everyone.
same methods, yet alternate motives. And I think what we see here is essentially that old cliche of your greatest enemy is yourself.
Well, that's true.
And I think that's what we're seeing here is we have one part of Doomslayer that ruled through hell and was corrupted. And then we have the other Doomslayer that came to punish the demons and kill them. And essentially you're meeting up with yourself because that's your greatest enemy. So that's my kind of theory on this, and that's my
could
take on
be
it.
an enemy
This obviously
to
doesn't
Doomslayer other
explain
than
everything,
himself.
and there's definitely going to be a lot of questions left over.
Oh, look, it's
but I think
Bob.
it's fairly accurate, and I'm hoping that it'll unfold in that
Say
manner.
hi to Bob.
Now, when we
Hi,
want to
Bob.
talk about the powers and abilities of Doomslayer, I think we should just kind of keep it as basic as possible. Sure, he can use weapons, he can use, a chainsaw or anything else like that. Are these things really necessary to Doomslayer? And the answer to this question is no. His physical body itself was enhanced by the Seraphim, and essentially he is immortal. He's
beat
basically
the Titan
godlike.
to
And at this
death
point
with
in
his
time,
fists.
the only reason why you see him running around shooting demons and stuff is because that's what Doom is. It's a first-person shooter game. However, Lore-wise, it's
Thanks for
completely
lift, Bob.
unnecessary. He essentially could just run around in hell, butt naked, and just start punching people left and right, and that's all he really needs to do. Although I know that would be kind of funny, like in a short segment in the game to be able to do something like
awesome,
that, but that's
that's
not the whole point of the game, so that's what they're not going to give you. But lore-wise, that's essentially all he needs to do. Carrying a gun actually nerfs him. It doesn't buff him. I mean, really, what's a BFG compared to Doomslayer's
I found out those little orbs are
fists?
actually all the the minor guys that were killed by the Hell Lord
boys.
in a great war.
Doomslayer's butt cheeks are probably stronger than the strongest hydraulic press we have here on Earth. He could sit on a barren demon's head, clench, and there'd be nothing left but hot red applesauce. Looking at his other feats, we know that he's basically immortal. Why? Because he spent eons, which means billions of years in the hell domain, ripping and tearing, clenching demons between his butt cheeks and turning them into red applesauce without stopping for tea or a Subway sandwich. Okay, so he's basically immortal in that sense. Also, he was never killed. Remember when Doomslayer at the beginning of 2016 in that game, you basically wake up inside that tomb because you've been trapped there. They couldn't kill Doomslayer.
No, they
That's
couldn't.
another decent amount of evidence.
That's
that
the only
he is
reason the demons of hell would
Demons
trap
couldn't
something.
kill him,
They couldn't
so
kill
instead
it.
they had to seal him away. Another thing to add here is he's basically a mirror image of the Dark Lord. The Dark Lord is also said to be a threat to all of creation, meaning that essentially given enough time, which obviously we know he has because he's immortal, he can bring an entire universe and possible multiverses under his heel. And to be a threat of all of creation means he's also
and technically
above
the Hell Lord has
Seraphim
done this, and he hasn't
is
even
essentially
physically,
only second
even before
to
he
the
physically
Creator
manifested.
himself, or in this universe, the Father. So let's go ahead and take
The Father
Mr.
could not bring
Doomslayer
himself
and
to
throw
destroy
him into the Warhammer
the Hell
40k
Lord.
universe. Now, I said this before, and I'll say it again. The second that Doomslayer hits the Warhammer 40k universe, Khorne is gonna feel all the anger he has ever felt before, and he's gonna get an enormous chain axe boner from this new presence in the warp.
A force that can match him.
I love this feeling. More blood for the blood god. More blood for the chain axe boner. More blood.
Now, come on, guys. We already know where this is
Censored?
going. What Doomslayer
fuck,
does
dude?
not give a damn about the Eldar, or the Tau,
Whoa.
or the stupid
What the
orcs,
hell?
or the silly Necrons, or any of these other things.
That's the
He's
best
probably gonna
Necron
land on an
ever.
Imperial world. He's gonna slap a couple of Space Marines' heads off if they get in his way.
Yeah.
There's probably gonna be like some old
And then
hobo
Pikachu.
guy that has like a sign that says like, you know, the end is near. Doomslayer's gonna walk up to him. The guy's gonna look at him and be like,
There's a new warp rift over there, sir. I think maybe you should go check it out.
and then once Doomslayer knows that, okay, there's some demons in there, he's gonna grab that ship, fly it directly into this extended Eye of Terror, and thus the Doomslayer is home once again. Now, in these events, I think we can easily say that the Imperium of Man would definitely welcome the Doomslayer,
Yeah,
because they
probably.
have been fighting against the forces of chaos for so many
Coax.
years already, namely the Grey Knights, because we do have to remember, there is a Grey Knight that has been stuck in there for quite some time now. His name is Kaldor
Yeah,
Drago.
Kaldor Drago.
Is a very poorly written character
Poorly
by Matt
written.
Ward, who's been living in the warp, who's trapped there, and he just simply is
And he's lost
invincible,
his
okay?
mind.
Wherever he goes, he destroys everything in its path. They try to turn him into like a Doomslayer himself.
Yeah,
because
that's
let's
true,
be
actually.
honest,
Yeah, he
Games
is the-
Workshop will
he
rip
is
off
the,
anything that they can possibly
he
get
is the
their
Grey
hands
Knight's
a hold of.
Doomslayer.
The only difference here is that nobody likes Kaldor Drago and everybody loves the Doomslayer. However,
damn.
if these two
mean.
run across each other in the warp, I don't think the Doomslayer would give any second thought to Kaldor Drago.
Probably not.
Kaldor Drago, however, would be on his knees trying to kiss the Doomslayer's feet, and Kaldor Drago occasionally
They would
is
probably
able to
think that he
return
was
to the
a
material
manifestation
realm.
of the
I think
God
at that
Emperor.
point he would be able to warn his brothers and let them know, hey, we have a champion here who's also making great progress against the warp demons. He's only one man, but I think he's strong enough to kill the Chaos Gods himself. So what you should do is send a bunch of Grey Knights in
hell
here,
yeah.
and we'll kill all the little tiny baby demons and give him enough room so that
Let
way
him
he
make
can
the
get
way to
the
the
big
boss.
guys. So that way he can do the job that we were hired for but couldn't complete.
Exactly.
And that seems to
Well,
be the
technically they
real
were
issue when
created
it
for it,
comes
not
to the
just hired.
Doomslayer. He's only one man. He can only be at one place at a given time. Imagine you as a human trying to take over Earth through brute force alone. And in one area, you're ripping and tearing, yet on the other side of the Earth, they're multiplying like crazy. So you could never truly cleanse the entire
Well,
Earth.
technically,
and I think that's
it
what
said
happened
in
with
Doom
Doom Guy when he
2016
was
that
stuck in
the
hell.
demons-
Is even though he was the
were
strongest man
threatened
there,
with
it's not like
extinction
he's
because
moving
of the
faster
Slayer.
than light, just slaughtering everything in its path. It's just him ripping and tearing as long as he possibly can, and there's just like basically an infinite amount of demons pouring on him constantly. And I think the same problem would arise with him being in the warp. You see, the Chaos Gods, when they create demons, they are actually small droplets of their own power. So if you can imagine this, imagine that you cut your finger and then that
that was
little
cool.
drop of blood forms like a bloodthirster. That's essentially what the Chaos Gods do. When a demon gets destroyed, it returns back to the Chaos God. And at any moment, the Chaos God can either create
Unless the
more,
Doomslayer
or he can
absorbs the
retract those
energy,
demons and reabsorb
like he does with the
them. So when
Argent
it comes
energy
to
from
the
the
Doomslayer
demons-
ripping and tearing and everything, you see, Khorne is a bit of a coward. He never fights his own battles. What he does is he
Burn.
sends demons out to go do his dirty work while he sits on his stupid chair and then just takes all the credit for everything that he didn't do. And when you look
Credit
at
for
things
everything he
like that,
didn't do.
honestly, the Chaos Gods don't seem so epic anymore because they don't do anything. They literally just sit there and they talk trash and they praise themselves.
Talk a lot
and
of
all
shit.
their little minions do everything
talk a
for
lot of
them.
smack.
At least with Doom, the Dark Lord was actually punching, ripping, and tearing, and that's how he gained his
Dark
way
Lord
in control
orchestrated the
of
destruction
hell.
of multiple
Anyways, I
universes
digress. So in
before
this
he'd even
instance, if
physically
the Grey Knights
manifested.
can reach into the Eye of Terror, which we know they can because they have enough plot armor to do so, and if they can drive their force deep enough and clear a path for Doomslayer, they can alleviate that pressure off of him. Meanwhile, Doomslayer is going to whip his head around, stare directly at Khorne, and just make the craziest full-on sprint towards his ass. Now, Khorne is going to be utterly confused, you see, because he's been sitting in his little stupid chair for about 45,000 years, because that's when he was created. By the way, if you don't understand that, this means that Doomslayer is billions of years older than Khorne himself, because Khorne arose in the Bronze Age. Now,
Is
do
that true?
you
I don't know.
what this
Let me know in the
means?
comments.
And are you thinking what I'm thinking? That's right, we're about to witness child abuse as the old man Doomslayer just
We
lays
here at
down
Rat
the
2501
whipping on
Productions do
little
not
baby
condone the
Khorne.
abuse of children.
And now, for
We do,
some of you
however,
who
find it
don't
hilarious.
understand the Warhammer 40k lore, the Chaos Gods can indeed die. They are not abstract concepts. What they
Well, they
are is
actually
a
kinda
collection
are.
of energy. Think of it like a puddle.
Yeah.
If you have water that flows into a little crevice, it can create like a little puddle, right? Now, if you were to just stomp into that little puddle in the street, what happens? You disperse that water all over the place. Do you have a puddle anymore? No, you don't. Do you have Khorne anymore? No, you don't. You've just splattered his energy all over the place, and
but if
thus
it's still
the Chaos
raining,
God is
then the
dead.
puddle
Once this
reforms
happens,
anyway,
I
so
think that the
that's the
Grey
thing with the
Knights
Chaos
would
Gods.
redouble their efforts to get the Doomslayer to the other Chaos Gods.
Yeah.
Now, there's no telling how long these battles would take. I mean, go ahead
Long
and slap
time.
a couple of thousand years
Yeah.
on them. Who cares? The Grey Knights will be dying left and right. Doomslayer will be punching left and right. And the Emperor of Mankind is probably going to take his psychic broom and start banging it up against on the ceiling. Oh, what are you kids doing? Keep it down up there. Oh, okay, so you guys also know that I like to throw a bunch of wild cards in here too,
Wild
right?
cards.
So we also have other warp entities, and
True.
I would absolutely love to see the Doomslayer just slaughter all the Eldari gods, all
Oh.
that garbage, get it out of Warhammer 40k.
That's so
the
messed
Necrons
up.
would definitely be partying hard, dancing all over the place, putting their obelisks up, shutting off, closing off the warp to the material realm, and
Yeah.
thus Doom Guy would save Warhammer 40k from the warp itself by cleansing it, and the Necrons would be stitching it closed so that way nobody
Poignantly.
can access it once again. Now, if we want to take this a little bit into a different way, what I'm going to say is the Doomslayer is in the warp, the Grey Knights don't help him. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to dig through all this
Time-consuming.
garbage and all
Not-
this
not
much to finally
difficult,
get to the Chaos
time-consuming.
Gods, because they're the greatest cowards in Warhammer 40k. They don't do anything. They
Dude.
don't fight their own battles. So
Sending some
they're going to be
hate here.
sitting on their thrones, just sending endless hordes towards them. Khorne's going to have a huge boner because there's going to be just ripping and tearing all over the place. As long as it doesn't come to him, he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
However, I think the amount of destruction that the Doomslayer could bring to the warp, even by himself, could probably cause chaos to start weakening its grasp on the material realm. And the reason why I say this is because the Chaos Gods
See, that looks
always
like
kind of
Necron
divert
tech
their
right
attention
there.
to different
I
things,
said that
whether it's
before.
towards each other or the mortal realms. And if you've got this Doomslayer guy that you cannot get rid of, and he's just destroying everything left and right, and he's getting a little bit closer
Left, right,
every
up, and
single
down.
day, then, you know, the Chaos Forces, they might find that the Chaos Gods are no longer answering them as often, and they're not giving them their blessings anymore because they're too busy
That's
trying
true,
to
that's a
stop
good
this
point.
force that's inside the warp.
An unstoppable
And that
force.
could mean that eventually the Chaos Space Marines, or even the cultists, no longer get any kind of gifts from the warp, and thus chaos begins to fizzle out in the mortal realm. Now, what this would spell out for the rest of the universe is I just simply think that
Many
it would
good
make the
things.
Imperium of Man much stronger, because then they can just redouble their efforts towards the other dirty Xenos like Tyranids and stuff, and actually attend to a real threat on the material realm. Chaos is not, I mean, they're a threat, but it's only because they corrupt the material realm. The Chaos Gods are not gonna open up this big old portal in space and time, and Nurgle's ass comes through this giant portal and just diarrheas all over Earth, you know,
God.
and melts it or
Oh,
something.
that's
They don't do
nasty.
nothing like that. Chaos
That's
is
gross to my
basically
brain.
a Saturday morning cartoon
Ow.
villain, is how they're written now. If you want Chaos to be taken seriously, why don't you have them destroy like
Oh,
an
damn.
actual known chapter that people care about? Something useless though, like the Imperial Fists. The
Hey,
only thing the Imperial Fists
don't be
have ever
hurting on
done
my
that's
man
cool is
Adornable's
create the Black
chapter.
Templar and the Crimson
Boy's
Fist.
gonna
Everything
be
else
chapter
they've done,
master
the
of that
chapter
chapter
master,
eventually.
all of them, they're all garbage. Just get rid of them. Delete those guys. Or better yet, get rid of the Blood Angels too.
Ooh.
If I can see some of the effeminate fanboys cry over their favorite
Fanboys.
chapters being destroyed, then Chaos has actually gotten a victory and they actually feel like a threat. Anyways, I made this video long enough for me to get some more ad revenue. Thank you guys very much for watching this
Long
video.
enough for me to get
Hopefully
some ad
you enjoyed
revenue.
it. If you have anything else that you'd like
Epic.
to add to this video, definitely leave it down in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this, please subscribe if you have
Oh,
not
God.
subscribed. I want to get those numbers up and I will greatly appreciate having you on board. So thank you once again, and I'll have more for you later.
Later. All right. So, there you go. Could Doomslayer survive in Warhammer 40k? The answer is yes. But though I think he makes several misconceptions there. Like, yes, the Chaos Gods can die, but because the emotions of all the people of the Imperium still feed them, excuse me, they just reform again. Probably not in the same way. Probably a different name or something like that, but it's essentially the same entity. It just comes back. So it'd be difficult. That's the one thing that would be difficult, is for the Doomslayer to permanently kill the Chaos Gods. I don't even think even he could do that, because they're just constantly being fed energy, so they would just reform. So basically, Doomslayer would just be kicking their asses for all eternity. So you back yourself to what he said before. The Chaos's influence on the Imperium would weaken tremendously, if not be snuffed out, because the Chaos Gods are too busy trying to recover from the generous ass whooping that the Doomslayer's been providing them. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, guys. And of course, click on the link to the original down in the description. Get down to Commissar Games' channel and subscribe to him and like the original video over there. I will see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content, and bye-bye.